Hello, welcome back, dreamers, to the dream stream of consciousness. I am Yiskah Cook.
And I am Elle Ronis or Ellen Ronis.
Great to see you, Ellen. We actually, full disclosure, just made one of my dream, a dream stream podcast. And so you can hear that in the previous one. I think it's 186. So on to your dream. I'm looking forward to hearing it.
Thanks. I didn't write it down, so let's see if I remember. I'm in one of my familiar dream stages, which is outdoor, like a festival of some sort. Festival or a, sorry, I don't know if you can see me changing the size and shape here. Um,
Uh,
uh, yeah, some kind of, if it actually seemed like it might have been a dream workshop, which is how
oh,
I know you, and it's how I know my ex-husband, and he was part of this dream. So it felt like it was that kind of a, camp or outdoor kind
yes.
of thing. And there's like a room where like the beds and, dorms were, and then there's this long hallway, and then I I don't remember how it all started, but I ended up going into this house that was Tim's house, which is my ex-husband, who anyone who's been listening knows that I continue to dream even after he's passed. I mean, it's been a long time. Um, and so he's got a house there, but the house is half underwater. So like the ground floor sinks in and it's all water. And he's in there with his now girlfriend, whoever that was, a random person. She seemed like a nice girl, kind of. I don't know. She just had that vibe to her.
Mhm.
And she was kind of letting him, kind of aside, sort of being on the side of him. Like not, she wasn't hovering, and she's whatever. She knew that I was there to talk to him, and we were sort of trying to reconcile something. We were trying to communicate, and his eyes kept tearing, and he was saying, oh, it was like an allergy or something, but it was clear that he was crying, and he wanted to connect with me, and I wanted to connect with him. And it was like this longing to just like hug him and just be like, are we okay? Can we just
Yes.
finish this already? Can we just like process it and just love each other and let each other go kind of thing? And we never really got to it. And then I had to suddenly realize something about the timing, and I ran down that dark hallway into the rooms, and the woman had been cleaning the rooms, and she was like, if you don't collect your stuff right now, it's officially, open for grabs. Like anyone can take it. So of course I started quickly, collecting all my things and
All my things.
yeah. So that's another thing for me, my stuff, my stuff. Like it didn't have any
Muchas cosas.
cosas, yeah, yeah. So I don't know, and the only thing significant about that is that I was collecting like toiletries, like from the bathroom, which doesn't really seem that important, but usually it's my purse, like the things that like
Ah,
that I carry, my wallet and my phone and important keys, things like that. So it wasn't that; it was my toiletries. So I don't know. It seemed
okay.
less significant somehow, but there was like a rush to kind of pack it up and be done with it, which also was sort of the similar feeling with Tim. It was like it wasn't like a rush to be done with it, but it was like this kind of longing to just, can we just recognize that we both had sadness about this, we both had maybe anger, we both like it was sort of a two-way street, like we're not blaming each other, we're not mad at can we just
Yes.
like just really wanted to like love him, like I wanted to just give him a hug and like love
Yes.
him and just be like, yeah, this, not the other stuff that had gone on in my mind about the breakup and all that.
It feels like, and Ellen and I, we've worked together so long that, forgive me, please, if this is not spoken very projective-esque, but it feels like that's what if it's my hair, I will make it projective. If it's my dream, I feel that that's why he is crying.
Hmm.
He is longing for the same thing as me. Can't we just love each other and then have our closure, whatever that means?
Yeah,
You know?
whatever that means. But yeah, that's what it seemed like we both really wanted.
Mhm.
And I kind of, I like to think that we do get visitations. I mean, I feel like I've had conversations with him, like just in the spirit world, like just feeling him right there and just, that kind of thing. So I like to think that it could be a visitation, that could be an energetic, like, you know, I mean, you could just ask the question, why is he there? Why is he in my dream? What is he telling me in the dream? It could be like that, or it could actually be an energetic visitation. There's so many ways to look at it. But
Yeah,
either way, why he's there is, for my own psyche to clear it, to clear it,
yes,
just clear it. It doesn't matter whether it's an actual visitation from him, whether it's actually his consciousness or soul coming to
it's your
finish
higher
it.
consciousness,
Right, exactly. It's
whether or not it's his. Yeah, that,
right. It's impossible to know,
yes,
what the reality is, except that it's really about how it all feels to me, and what I want to do with that. And I'd like to have one more dream where we actually do it, where we actually just like be done, like I love you and be done.
yes, it's the journey, not the destination.
But
I'm
the
sorry.
journey's been interesting because it does,
Yes,
his participation in my dream psyche is different every time. It's like a
right.
little different.
So I don't have a parallel experience, but I have from having lost my mom when I was 25. And I've had dreams about her, like her last days when she wasn't feeling well or in a hospital bed or like, pallid skin. But then I have had dream visits where she looks like the vibrant lady in her 30s with a hair comb and a flower in her hair in like the 70s, and or like 1980. And that to me feels like that's a visit because she looks vibrant and vital,
Mhm,
alive. Um, and so it's also, for me, it's very qualitative that I can feel
mhm,
what's more of an anxiety dream and what's more what I also like to perceive as a visit.
mhm.
So,
Right. Yeah,
yeah,
that's interesting, right. There's a difference. Yeah.
like a different feeling. And I guess that's
Mhm.
why Robert Moss, of course, Jeremy Taylor, asked, how did you feel when you woke up?
Yeah.
That's the question. It's like,
Well,
where
yeah.
where is it for you? You know,
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, when I woke up, I felt really kind of sad. Like not sad, but like there was like a longing kind of a feeling. Yeah, like a longing.
can you identify what the longing was?
I think it was multi-layered, like a longing for like the partnership, there's some kind of a partnership, like he's right there and I
Mm.
can't, you know, hug him. I can't like be, yeah. Um, and oh, by the way, he was kind of in this weird sort of reclined position where half his body, I forgot about this, half his body was under the water,
Yeah,
like,
let's talk about this.
and he was like in the water, and I was above, like standing on the precipice of where the water goes down, like I was standing sort of in the living room, quote unquote. um you
So
know
underwater is also his like bed or his desk.
like furniture and stuff down there, it was like a regular thing, but it's all underwater.
And was
Yeah.
there any sense of like anything about the water? Was it the temperature of the water or um yeah, was it cold? Was it body temperature?
I didn't have any sense of it. I will say that when I was a very little kid, I used to lay upside down on the living room couch
Yes.
in waking life. I was very little. And I
Yes.
would lay with my head hanging on, my feet were like up where you lean, back, and my head was hanging over the cushions. And I would somehow so see, everything was upside down. And I would, for some reason, I would have this visual that there was water, like that the room was filled with water and that we could breathe underwater.
Oh,
That was so it could be that I
seems
was just
like a
remembering something.
dreamer from dreamer from Jump, baby dreamer. That's
Yeah,
awesome. I feel like didn't everybody? I mean, I'm saying that almost tongue in cheek, but we all hang upside down and
Oh, but, yeah, probably.
water.
I
I
mean, the
mean,
upside down thing. I don't
you
know about
know,
the
but
water thing, but
I don't know that in my dream of hanging upside down, I don't know that it had the component of being able to breathe underwater. That's
Mhm.
unique, from what I'm hearing.
Yeah. I mean, it
So
doesn't matter to me whether it's unique or not. It just matters that I had that experience.
exact. No, I mean, I do think it matters because it's like being able to breathe in different,
Yeah.
I saw a really cute show on Netflix called Resident Alien. Have you
Hmm.
seen it? It's so cute. And at one point she realizes, because he's a man, looks like a man, not a man, but the body of a man. And he's breathing underwater, and she realizes he has gills. She's like, gills. And he said, "You lungers are very judgmental." I don't know why I'm just thinking of that. Those were funny to me, but like being able to breathe and exist in a different
Yeah.
that's
Well, I think when I was that little, I actually think I was probably remembering being in the womb. I wasn't obviously conscious of that, but I mean, I was that
oh
little that it's
goodness.
entirely possible that I was remembering
Absolutely.
having some kind of visceral memory,
That's
like,
wonderful.
yeah, float.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's probably partly what it was,
So
and
are
feeling
you, yeah.
free. But anyway, I don't know if there's an association,
But I
but
just
there,
am asking, is
right?
that the position that Tim is in the dream?
He's not upside down. He's just kind
Okay.
of lounging back. And it was a kind of an awkward position. It was like
Okay.
lounging at this angle and like crying and
Yeah.
like it was almost like he was impotent. He couldn't like get up and
Yes.
reach out to me
Oh, yes.
like he wanted to. And that's why the tears.
Yes.
And the girlfriend wasn't like saying, "Oh, don't go to her." And she was kind of just energetically, she was supporting him.
Yes.
Do what you need to do, kind of thing. Um, I
That's,
don't know. Yeah, I don't
I
know.
mean,
Just
that's a very brave and self-confident stance of that woman standing next to him. Like,
yeah, but
what
I
do you
think
want to
so.
do? Talk to your ex-wife, of course. I mean, that's
Yeah,
how I
yeah,
think
I thought that
we
it
want to live
was.
our lives. So,
Yeah, and I guess if we look at it like that, we're all the people in our dream, which is just one way of looking, not the way.
yes,
Um, that if I'm her, I like that. I like that aspect of myself that
I like
I'm,
that too.
I'm like a good person. I'm not flashy. I'm not, wildly, sexual like some other women in his life.
I bet.
Um,
Someone asked that.
they're just like she's just like a good-hearted woman, like a good, strong,
Yes,
like I like her vibe, and I was like, great, I like that aspect
I
of,
like that too. And
and
it's
I like the
also,
aspect of him that sort of I don't like it, but I can relate to the aspect of him that is longing, that wants it, is crying. Somehow he's feeling a lot. He's feeling a lot, but he can't quite, yeah, can't quite get out of the water.
if it's my dream, the water is the feeling realm in
Mhm.
my version of this dream.
Oh, right.
And so he can't get out of the water. He can't get out of that like weepy, emotional place.
Hmm.
And I wonder if I am he or even just me, how can I help him? To
Hmm. Yeah.
how can I be more like this woman standing by his side?
Well, maybe I think I wanted to help
Yeah.
him. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, I wanted it for myself too, but I think, uh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I wanted to help him, or I mean, I didn't not want to help him, but I'm not sure
Right.
if that was a component of it. But I definitely wanted him to, I wanted him to come out of the water, to step forward, to be face to face with me. I wanted to hug him,
Yes.
but I needed him to come. I needed him to get up. So I don't know.
It feels to me like this is a great light on this incredible journey you're on with dreams about
Yeah.
him. And I think that it leaves a lot of unanswered questions if I'm the dreamer of like, is it unfinished emotional baggage for me? But I don't know that it is because when I'm packing my bag, I've got to get my bags out of there. It's something that's not very.
Yeah,
essentially. Just my
exactly.
wash bag. I can
Exactly.
brush my teeth with my finger, and it's not my wallet, it's not my
Yeah.
phone.
Yeah.
So then that makes me think, then no, it's not a very significant thing that I'm dealing with my own emotions. I just don't know. I just want to help him out of the water. And my
Yeah.
question is how to do
Mm.
that.
Yeah. 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 I don't know the answer. I
And I don't expect you to.
don't have the answer. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. I just
Yeah.
think, is this also like a campsite? No, because he had a room.
Oh, like no, his place was like a house, except it didn't have a roof, right? It was just weird.
Okay,
It was like
that's
it was a
interesting.
whole yeah, it was really interesting. It was like, you're on the grass and then suddenly you go down and there's the whole living room and sort of
Oh,
kitchen and
wow.
everything is down. It's like a pool. That's what it was. It was like a pool, but there was like a living room and a house set up.
Okay. And that's why someone was under the water of the pool.
Yeah,
It
right.
was at like the deep end or something.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, it was all shallow. It wasn't none
It's
of
all
it was.
shallow. So there wasn't a deep end.
So that, and there's no roof. So maybe it's like all this stuff is kind of like the underground somehow. That it's water. I, agree that it feels like
Wow.
emotion,
Okay.
the
So
emotion of,
then if it's my dream, that means to me, I'm just not seeing it yet. And
Hmm.
I feel grief is an ever,
Yeah,
spiraling cycle.
yeah.
And, I could have cried for the loss of that part of my life. I know I did.
Hmm. Hmm.
I
Hmm.
know I did, but maybe there's still something unfinished, and maybe that's why we can't come to the final closure
Yeah,
of dreams because I still have some under under the
yeah.
floorboards. And I haven't
Yeah, there's still
looked at yet.
something.
I haven't looked at this yet.
Yeah, still something under the water a little bit.
Under
Yeah,
the
under the feeling of it. Yeah.
mm,
Yeah. It doesn't feel like grief, really. It doesn't feel like more grief. It feels like, yeah, just some kind I'll say it again, the word longing. It just felt like a longing for or some kind of a reconciliation that wasn't coming easily, that wasn't able to come out of the emotional world and into the uh, you know, I don't know, whatever, the living world of actual relationship somehow.
yes. And it was
Yeah.
all shallow end, so I would just take this to mean for myself if it's in my dream, like okay, there's some investigating within myself that I'm gonna
Yeah.
take, but I don't feel like it's so important for me to do.
Yeah.
It's all the
Well, if you
shallow end.
Yeah, and it feels like it's getting there. Like the fact that he's there, wanting also to connect, wanting me to see the emotion. He wants me to see.
Yes.
He's
Okay.
really showing that to me, which is
Yes.
not a thing, he did in the waking world at all, not to me anyway. So, but I also think that I know that he had a lot of emotion that I didn't really know. Like I was so busy being in my own rage and feeling of abandonment and grief, and feeling left, that I couldn't see that he also felt really terrible. And I know this from other people, that he also felt really, really lost
You
and
know what they
terrible.
say about hindsight.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing, whatever. Yeah, I don't think anything would
Hindsight,
have been
you can't
that
see it until I know I could absolutely relate to that.
different. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Well, thank you. Thanks for just, yeah, hearing all of that. And the journey will continue.
I wonder because I don't know why. In my version of this dream, he's underwater and so is his desk. I don't know if you ever said that, but it meant like something business. And so I'm wondering, is there something unfinished? I know you guys were working together. Worked together for years. I just wonder if there's anything that I haven't yet.
Hmm. Well, the only thing I can think of, I mean, I don't think I did mention a desk actually, and I don't remember
Okay.
seeing a desk, but that is an interesting uh, observation. And what the businesses that we had together were Pilates studios, and I have been thinking of getting back, not so much into Pilates per se, where I get a studio and get all the equipment and all that, but that I do some version of movement class, whether it be live or online. And it's just something that I'm toying with,
I,
that I sort of go in and out of, and oh yeah, I really want to, and then not sure if I do or not. But yeah, so that's the
I
association, like
love that. That's great.
getting back to something of in myself
Yes.
that was who I was when I was with him, and then as
Yeah,
soon
we
as
had shared.
you know,
We had shared this, and
yeah,
but it wasn't me. It was when I was younger and I was in relationship. I did make a mistake of trying to be who he wanted me to be. You know what I mean? Little
yes,
girl, not little, late teens, 20s. After that, no, but but in this case, the Pilates also was you're a movement instructor, you're a dancer, you're an artist. So,
yeah,
um, so it's not that. It's like coming back to a part of yourself,
right,
maybe
right,
just reminding
yeah.
something.
Right. And it's almost like, if resolving something with him or finding something like a closure, as it were,
Yes.
feels like, okay, I can get back to something of myself, or some part of myself that I gave away in a way, in the divorce. I sort of gave some piece of myself away, and I was okay with it at the time. I was like, I don't want that. I
Mhm.
don't want that reminder. I don't want that work anymore. Whatever it was. I just, um, yeah. Anyway,
Well,
something to think about for sure.
yeah, just a wonderful reminder in oneself that, oh yeah, this feels right. Just a
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
a stepping stone, perhaps.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And like I said, the journey will continue. See what comes next.
As well, I will talk to you soon. And I wanted to say to our listeners, thank you for joining us. And we say, sweet dreams, Holomod Metukin.
Bye bye.
I'm recording or I'm paused? I'm recording.